Hello, this is Geneva calling you. This is Daniel. Pleased to meet you. Welcome. This is the weekly live from Live Broadcasting Rocks, where I am here to answer your questions about going live, being live in social media, on Zoom, whatever channel this may be. So I'm a professional digital marketing expert, and I found the broadcasting subject of so exciting already years ago. So now the times are changing, and we all see Zoom conferences are rising up. People are going out on the social networks using new channels, going live. And this is something that I would like to occupy myself with and help you to reach out using this channel as well, because we were seeing like, how do you post on Facebook? Maybe 10-15 years ago it was a new thing. Now when we would meet each other in about 5 years, it's probably not a big thing to make a live anymore and to go live on Facebook as we would see it right now. So let me quickly get through the subjects today. So these are the topics. We are talking about backgrounds and how you make the best impression with your live broadcast. And another topic that that is related is virtual cameras. How can you use virtual cameras really to your to your benefit? And what is a virtual camera? So if you have these and more questions, join me today. And these are the channels that I'm streaming with. This is YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. So as you are ushering in, I'm always happy if you have any questions, and make this demo and this live so interactive as possible. So this is your space, and I'm happy to if I don't have the question, if I don't have the answer, go back to the question for the next week. So I'm here every week, 12:30 Central European time. So let's jump into today's presentation. And so if you are a Facebook user wanting to say hello, do so. Write your name and your where you are from. Always happy to know that you're watching, and if you have any comments, I'm getting to these as quickly as possible. So here we go, and this is Geneva calling you, and if you're hearing again sounds in the background, it's still not over. We still have some helicopters flying in the air because of the big visit this week. Because he came, the US president and the Russian president, he came, he met, he left again, and it was a good success for Geneva and hopefully for the world, as the Swiss president said. So just getting these pictures quickly to make use of the historical air that is still blowing here in Geneva in the Villa Lagrange, just a few kilometers away from where I'm living here. So all the best, Mr. Biden and Mr. Putin. See you soon. And this is what we are dealing with today. Because you can also be live, you can also make an impact in the world with your life, and that's why I'm here. Today we are talking about branding. How can you and your live video have the best possible impact with your idea that you're reaching out? And here there are some things that you can really work on behind and within, inside the camera, that are super useful for you to do. And this is what we have looked at last week already when it comes to the studio. This is a studio setup that you could easily use with a 2-meter distance from your background wall or whatever this is. We will focus on that later. And with your camera and light setting, it's all fine. But today, when we are talking about video branding, it's basically about these two factors here: the background and the camera itself, or say it in another way, how the picture that comes from the camera is then reused or well put together and basically processed, that it is the look and feel that you would like. And let me show you what I mean with that. Studio background is normally something like that. So you have a huge studio in the TV, and it could be like super sophisticated, large. So you have cameras coming back and forth. As we learn these days, it's not such a rocket science anymore to build your own studio and to have your own little professional setup with camera, lights, and sound. It can look like this. So it's a real background that you're using, and if you have a nice camera, it all looks okay. So for example, here I have a picture with somebody making a live video and having like an office background. Then you can also certainly have a more homey style background, a living room background. That's all fine. And here, that is a ServiceNow live that was broadcasted last year around that time. And it's all fine. So that's a possibility for a background. What other possibilities do you have? And certainly bookshelves. So I'm sure everybody of you has seen a Zoom with a sophisticated bookshelf in the back and a lot of stuff in the back. So if this is the best possible way, we will have a look at this later, but just giving you some ideas. Even if you have a bookshelf, you can make it orderly and nice, like this guy here. He actually arranged the books by color. That was seen as something special and got a real internet hype in this regard. But also when it comes to, this year I found this article that the rise of the credibility bookcase made the sales of libraries soar during the Corona pandemic. So I don't know, definitely if you need the bookshelf and if you need to now get books for your background, it can be so much easier. Let me just tell this to you from the start. And most important, I would say, is the background, because it gives you and it gives others a first impression from you. Like there is no, as we say, no second chance to get a first impression. And shouldn't the background be something that represents you, that is clean and kind of connects with your idea, with your mission, with your company? And I think this influencer Mary Smith does it really, really well. She has a background that is super tidied up. It has always nice flowers, some colors in the back, some some window even. That's sometimes not that easy to do with the lighting conditions, but her setup is just perfect. It's she has super light. She is she wears something all the time differently, so doesn't even need to do that. If you do your lives, there are people like having the same style all the time, but maybe you get the idea. So this is something that you could do as well. So you don't have to show like all the books you have just because you have a bookcase in the back. So you can either decide to make a space of the bookshelf really tidied up and sort of clean and simple, and or you don't have to show it at all and sort of use something else. And this is something that we see more and more. So as we expose ourselves now through live video, a lot of people are afraid, okay, okay, so people are seeing something about my life that I don't necessarily want to show. Yes, but it's the same thing when you're doing a phone call. You don't want to have like the TV sound in the back, for example. You curate your atmosphere, your background, so that it makes the audience fit what you actually like to see them. And so yeah, so thanks Mary Smith for your example. I took the liberty to use that. I know that you are particularly interested in having the best impression and say, okay, is this a good picture? And you can really see it on her social streams. When she does a live, she is really out there and does a fabulous job. And yeah, all the best, good continuation to my fellow influencer in the States. So this is something that I picked from a course and from Adrian Salisbury, who is an influencer as well and a video coach and a life coach. He has shown this once on his social networks, and this is something that I just wanted to make you consider as well. So you can have any type of condition. You can have a garage to a basement or something, but not necessarily everybody needs to see that. So you can curate the background. This is as it was shown, the garage and how it looked, and then this is the impression that the viewer is getting. And so this is a fine idea. So it represents you in a way how you would like people to be to appreciate you and to receive you, and it's clean, organized, and the most important, it does not distract, because most important is you want to lead the audience attention to what you think is most important. Therefore, yeah, be wise with the selection of what you are presenting. So therefore, there are possibilities that if you don't have I would say the super villa that you also, or if you have the villa and you don't necessarily want to show how you live and you want to show something else that represents you a little bit better. So there are possibilities. There is the virtual background, for example, from Zoom. If you're doing a Zoom call, I am just sharing this little bit with you here, where I have already done a video on YouTube that you can find, well, how to change your background with Zoom. And so here I have a 60 minute timer that you can basically put in the background of the Zoom call, or you can also choose any other style. But this is here done in a way that Zoom and the computer is detecting your face and fading out the shape of everything else that is around. And so therefore you, you have the background relatively nicely blended in your face and your head. But as you can see here on top on this video, there is always this shade around, and it's constantly moving because the computer is constantly calculating. It is a possibility, but I would say it's not the nicest, and it's certainly not something that looks super authentic. So therefore I would highly recommend to use these kind of backgrounds just if you really have a purpose, a real purpose, and an idea why you're using them. Back to the presentation here is that you can certainly have a virtual background generated from Zoom, but you can also create your own virtual background or your own green screen background. And what you need then is a so-called green screen. This is how it looks like here. It's let me just show you. It's here. We have this here. It looks like this now. I am having a green background and showing this how it looks like right now. Also, if I am changing the webcam, you don't see it, but it's this thing here. It looks like quite gigantic here. But what you can do then is that you switch then what the people are seeing with the background picture, and For example, this is a picture that I just took by myself. Here, this is just after this famous visit from the week here in Geneva. This Tuesday it was, yeah, Tuesday. That we had here this nice ambience here, and the jet d'eau, the fountain in Geneva was super wonderful. The flags were there. So I just took this picture. And if this is something that is representing me at this moment and I would like to show, so okay, so I can use it certainly as a background. And so this is something, of course, you can do with other things like your famous city or the city where you're from, or anything else like the institution you're working for, that has a connection with you. And so therefore, just an idea, you can do something like this. You can also certainly have a little bit more movement in a picture, but you see already having some movement in the picture makes it a little bit difficult to follow, and you're automatically losing the attention. So this is the idea of having a virtual background or a green screen background as something that shapes what you would like to see the audience, or what you like to show the audience. Then there is another possibility. I just take the green screen background away again. So this could be another option, and something that I have done here in my little home studio. I am using a wall drop, like a special, painting, or a big poster that that I like and that I decided this is representing me. So this is how it looks like. It's here, this poster basically, that is a 3 by 2 meter poster. And you can have the same thing as well with, for example, brick background, with something else that you liked, and with your company colors, for example, with even your logo that is printed on there. So there are so many possibilities, and it's just so much better than this ugly bookshelf with books that people have to see, and where people basically lose focus when they see you. And just as a fruit of thoughts, this is, for example, something where you can have like a studio setup that I've seen with a certain backdrop. Even it has on the poster the lights, so it should make the impression, of course, that there is maybe something photography going on or something here. If you're really in flowers, or if you are a flower shop or something, this could be something. It's at least something that represents you. If you have or if you really want like people, if you to see what you like, a nice background, that is something. And then I would say with the backgrounds, it's always possible and always good to have something that you don't focus too much. So it's not so easy to get distracted if you have, for example, a background that is looking a little bit like this. So yeah, what background do you like actually? So send me a message. Happy to discuss with you what your favorite is. So, and of course, feel free to send me your comment here, Facebook, on YouTube. So all appreciated. Hold on, I will just make a quick check, and I think we are all good here. Just checking. But yeah, I see 3 people are watching. All is fine. just didn't receive any comments so far. Just wanted to check if everything is okay with this here, with this presentation. So this is about the wall drop. So we have now 3 possibilities. We have a real background, so your super kitchen or whatever, if you like to associate it, your living room or your office, that is real. And so often we have a great background that represents us and where we work, and we don't use it. So therefore, this is always the first choice. Go for real. We are live. This is to be authentic, and then give people the curated but nice look that represents you. All fine with that. If you don't have the possibility, you can go for a virtual or green screen background. That's also possible, or just get your own background as a poster. And there are so many possibilities, and it's even not so it's even quite affordable, I would say. You can even have your company logo printed on on a poster, and go for it. So I just wanted to stress again the poster idea. The minimum width that you need is probably 1.5 meters, because the camera needs some exposure, or has some exposure, and so otherwise the camera has to be very, very close to your face to get to still have the background full screen. And therefore a width of 3 meters with a height of 2 meters, that's something that I used and found you can actually not have it large enough, because that gives you more possibilities to get different perspectives. And here is something, of course, not to forget. So you can use your white wall and or your colored wall and make great accents with light. And so with the background, I would see the simpler the better. Speaking of backgrounds, reality kills virtuality in this regard. So you have always a better picture if you don't have to have like these green screen stuff here, because green screen is also not 100% okay. So there is always the idea that you might lose like sharpness in your picture, and also the light that is in the background is different than the light that you are in your little home studio. So therefore, yeah, think about that. Here is the summary, what you can consider when you're thinking of your background. So it's clean, it has to be clean, it has to be like neat, that people don't get lost seeing you. It is good to have a balanced light condition. Less is more, and reality is better than anything that is virtual. So if you have your workplace, go for it. Go for this real thing, because people certainly also want to see something real. Now we have the question of before the camera. So what do I mean with that? Before or the camera off, or the question of what is happening with the camera, with a signal that you are basically sending out with your live stream, because the camera is sending out one picture, and that's fine. And so with the native app, if you're going live, this is the picture that is sent to Facebook right away. But if you are using a software that is streaming, and like there are so many possibilities out today, you have the possibility to curate this picture with overlays, and especially with let's say virtual with a virtual logo, or with something that is on top of that. And this is the idea of having a virtual camera, because this virtual camera is a signal that is created and then imported into each device that you would like to stream with, or each program. And this could be, for example, Zoom. So the virtual webcam is a software application that allows users to use their computer's resources during a video call instead of a live webcam or a live digital cam. In other words, users can place images, videos, and other sources as their primary output during such a video call. And what is it good for at the end? It's another way to create a more sophisticated overlay of video, images, and feeds, which then gets treated by Zoom, Teams, or other software, or like your Facebook app that is then streaming it. And it's basically your webcam signal that you find in Zoom, for example. And let me just demo here something for you. Now it's really time for some demos. First, there is the question of what's a virtual camera? A virtual camera is, for example, in OBS, it's an open broadcast software that everybody can download for PC and Mac, where you can you can import your picture. You can then overlay here a transparent PNG file. And this transparent PNG file is then overlaid and shows already in the picture that, okay, this is your feed, this is your picture, and this is what you're doing. And so what is happening now, or what I did here in this little demo, is that I'm using this now as a virtual camera for Zoom, and I'm going into Zoom and I'm using that as my virtual camera. It was already normally in, and so here we go. I am sort of showing everybody when I'm going out with Zoom that, okay, Daniel Schwenger live coaching, that I am doing this here, and this is my curated picture. That's one thing. And now you would probably ask, okay, so how can I do that myself? So this is a program called OBS, Open Broadcast Software. You can install it and then basically put in your signal from the webcam and then put an overlay picture like a PNG picture on top. What is a PNG picture? Well, it's a special picture format. How can you do a transparent PNG picture? Something like that. So here is a software that that is called Photopea. This is basically Adobe Photoshop that is online and is a free version. Here I'm showing you how I did this overlay that you have just seen from me using in OBS and then in Zoom. So here I'm using the right format for the screen format for streaming. There is either the possibility to use HD, which is let's say 1260 by 720 as a pixel size, or there is full HD, which is 920 by 1080 pixels. So this is what I did here with this Photoshop version. I chose the right font. I'm always using this font, Open Sans, and then I typed what I wanted to type. Here we go. I put in everything that I wanted to do, and here comes what I did on the, let me show it to you here where the picture is. You have different layers and you have a white background. And what I did here is that I am erasing the background, the white background layer, and then I have a transparent background that I am saving here as a PNG, and then I can use this PNG as a background or a layer for such a virtual cam. And this is the same thing that I am doing when I am doing here, for example, the countdown timer that you saw at the beginning, where you have several backgrounds and stuff here and overlays. And for example, this here as well, this here is an overlay, demo photopea.com. This is what I put on top of the picture. The software that I'm using is called eCam, and this software certainly does the same job as OBS, but much better. And it also provides a virtual cam that you can then use for Teams or for Zoom calls, as you would like. And what could such a, well, yeah, so why do you need it? Why is it so nice to have a virtual camera? I would say the camera that you're using defines the quality of the picture. If you are using a digital camera and you feed it into your computer, the virtual camera is not always seen by or not always found by Zoom. So you need a virtual camera to then signal Zoom, hey, this is a webcam, and you can use that. First, even if you don't want to have any overlays or even any fancy stuff, if you want to have like a Canon camera that I'm using here, I'm showing you, this is how it looks like here, then you would like to consider a virtual cam for Zoom or for Teams, because the picture quality is so much better than the webcam, and you can curate the picture as you like. But then there is also the enhancement of showing, okay, this is what I'm doing. And this is, for example, here, the frame that I'm using. This is also a transparent PNG. I'm just putting this on top, and you see it's my picture. And you can do that with your logo, for example. You can do that with a countdown timer, anything you want, and it makes makes you the leader of this broadcast, and you are curating the picture. And this is why I'm using the word curating the picture so often. Yeah, so this is all about the picture today. And if we're going back to the presentation, let me just start again from the start. What we did today is we were looking at the background and the camera to define the look and feel of your video and your live stream. And at the end, it is, of course, most important that you are feeling okay with what you are showing, and that you're feeling so at ease and relaxed, and you are able to get in touch with your audience. And this is where you're starting to be authentic, and you're creating a real bond with your audience. And so this is my job and my mission, to help you to get into this position as quickly as possible, to be authentical and to be also successfully creating new bonds with your clients. And at the end, it's all on convincing your existing and prospective clients. And their live video is the thing where you can create engagement and video as such. But we will see that there are more and more people out in the market. And if you know how to use these tools, you will be fine with creating recorded videos, but going live as well and make a fantastic impression. So this is what today's live is all about. And the idea is to get you bit by bit into this point of view, into this idea what you can do with live video. And if you are interested in more, so here you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. Here it is, put me here, look at me, hello. So this is the idea that you are becoming a live magnet of what you are reaching out with. And the YouTube channel is definitely a start where you can get more resources on what I have also been broadcasting in the past. Last week, for example, we were all talking about the light. So it's definitely something that is so important to get the right lights, but it's always, it's only the start. But on the other hand, it's not so difficult to make a super impression with only little means. I've showed last week, for example, it is so easy to get the right set up for just a few few hundred dollars, and for a minimum investment. And even like if you have a webcam already, or a computer, laptop computer, it's no big deal to put your camera, for example, on the eye level. So this is already something where you are directly connecting with your audience and create the much better impression. Yeah, so thank you very much for your today's attention, and this will also be at the replay, of course. And this is the idea, helping to enable you to become a live magnet. So I'm showing you the little introduction that you also see on my YouTube channel, and you are really highly invited to subscribe, because next Friday will be the live at the same time for English viewers. And here we are going to get to the next question about the sound of the live and what you can do to get the best possible connection with your audience there. So have a great day, and looking forward to connecting with you and seeing you soon next Friday. Bye bye.